Alright guys, probably ain't gonna be doing much talking because all I'm doing is just cutting these hog rings off. Welcome back to Garage Matters. Today we're gonna be replacing the old worn out leather on these 31-year-old seats. Come on over here, let me show you how it's done. Now these are the tools that I think I'm gonna need. We're gonna need these hog ring pliers right here with the hog rings. These pliers right here. I use these pliers to make my own battery cables, but I'm gonna use these to cut these hog rings from the old seat over here. Then we'll probably need some pliers, flathead screwdriver, and these trim tool removals. And you'll also need your new seat covers as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with this seat over here. So on this seat right here, down here, I've already repaired it previously with this leather repair patch, and what I noticed is that over time it'll start cracking again. So this is really a temporary fix until you can get a better solution. Also on this backrest right here, these little points right here, I'm gonna guess that the hog rings came loose, and that's why these are poking out of this leather right here. But once you sit in the seat, these little things right here, they'll start poking into the back of your spine. And we'll go ahead and fix that once we get the new leather put on the seat as well. And over here, take a look at this leather. This leather is so dry, it's starting to shrink. And when it shrinks, it's pulling apart this threading right here, and then it's gonna expose this seam right here. So you can kind of see the foam material inside this bolstering right here. So if you notice, the inside, it's the part that faces the sun, but on the outside, this part is usually covered by the door. So on the outside, it's still nice and soft, but all of this is really hard. And I've tried using the leather restore kits, but for some reason, they don't work for me. Either I'm not doing it right, or those products just don't work. But the rest of the seat doesn't look bad at all. This looks like just normal wear down here, but on this inside again, it's all dried up and it's starting to crack a little. But then we'll go ahead and start with the seat first, and I'll show you guys how it's done. Now after looking at these seat covers again, on my initial video, I had them backwards. This is actually where you sit down. So this will be the seating position right here. And then this next piece right here, this is your backrest. And when you flip it over, you have this map pocket. So that's kind of how I figured out that this is the backrest, and then that's the headrest. So let's go ahead and pull the seat over here. And I think on this seat, we're gonna start with the headrest because it's the easiest. Now on this headrest, what I think I'm gonna do is just go ahead and pull the entire headrest off. And you should be able to just lift it all the way up. And what I'm doing is have the camera set down so I can use both hands, but I'm just gonna pull this headrest completely off this backrest right here. And looks like it's coming up. It should just come right off. All right, it's coming. All right, so we got it off now. So I'll bring the camera back over here, and we'll see what's going on with this headrest. Now with this headrest removed and the new cover right here, I'm just gonna place it over and make sure it fits before I start ripping everything apart. Sometimes when you order stuff on the internet, they send you the wrong stuff, but it looks like it's going to fit. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take it apart. So it looks like down here, there is like this little plastic strip right here that clips on down in here. So I'm just gonna stick my hand down in here and try to gently rip it off. Okay, so it looks like it came off like that. So this piece right here, down here, just clips into right here. And let's see, we'll just go ahead and kind of see if we can take it apart without messing up the foam. So I'm pushing down on the foam and compressing the foam down while I'm pulling off this leather headrest. Alright, so we've got it off. I'm just going to make sure that I have the proper orientation so I don't forget how the new piece comes on. But this is the front. We're just going to match it up. And we're going to reinstall it like this. So, now even though this seat is 31 years old, the foam is still in really good condition, so I'm really happy that the foam's not messed up. So we don't have to do any repair on this foam. Hopefully the rest of the seat is gonna look very similar. So we'll go ahead and slowly finagle this back on and see how it looks like. Alright guys, I'm really close to this being done. I've already pulled this down as far as I can and it looks like it's lining up just perfectly. So once you get the leather stretched all the way down, we're gonna pull this back around like this, and then down here there's a little clip right here. We're just gonna clip this bottom piece into this clip, and we'll see how it looks. But I had to take my gloves off because it was kind of slippery, and just made it a whole lot easier without the gloves. So we'll go ahead and try to clip this on, and then we should be done with the headrest. Okay, I think that's good. Alright. Alright. Alright, now that is our new leather wrapped headrest. I'm gonna put it on this car seat real quick and then see how it looks like. Alright guys, here's a close-up of this seat. What do you guys think? I actually like it. It looks new, it looks clean, and it's definitely gonna pop out more when we're sitting in the car, or whoever's looking inside the car. But yeah, it's I think it's a really good fitment. It was kind of tight. I did have to do a lot of pulling and squishing that foam material, compressing it to get this leather to fit, but at least it's a nice tight fit, and it looks like it probably could have came from a factory just like this. So we'll go ahead and do I guess we'll do this back section next, and then once we get this back section knocked out, we'll do the seating position. Alright guys, I flipped this seat over to the side right here, but I guess these side trim pieces right here, I think they need to come off as well. And then to separate the backrest from the base of the seat right here, I guess I'm not gonna know what needs to happen until I take off this side piece right here. But we'll go ahead and remove the side piece first. Alright, I have the seat flipped like this, and I was just looking at this side piece right here, and it looks like down in here, you can kind of see it, but it looks like there's a clip that's just holding on to that metal bracket right there. So I think all we need to do is just pop it off this clip right here, and then it should come right off. Looks like it just snaps right in place. Okay, so I can't do it with one hand, but you just unclip this right here, and then it should just pop right off. And then there might be another one farther down here, so I gotta set the camera down so I can do it with 2 hands. Alright, so the top piece is off, and then the bottom right here looks like, okay, so down here, alright, let me bring this camera closer. So once you get that clip removed, once you get this clip removed, it's just gonna pop off like this, and then if we look down there, we have to come around on this side, and there is a Phillips head screw holding this trim piece on. So looks like all we gotta do is just take this screw out, and then we'll be able to remove this piece off right here. So let me get a Phillips head screwdriver to remove that screw. Alright guys, so I couldn't get this on camera, so I'm gonna show you guys what I did. So in order to get this piece off like this, you have to remove the handle right here. Now, in order to remove the handle, there is a little retaining clip right here, and all you do is just use a flathead screwdriver, and then you just pop it out, and it'll come right off. So once you get it off, this handle, it just lifts right off, so it'll come right off. You just pull it straight up, and then it is threaded as well, so when you go to rotate this handle, it'll have something to bite on. So it's gonna be a pain when it goes back to reinstalling it, because once you put this cover back on, put this handle back on, you're gonna have to somehow fit that little retaining clip back inside of here. But I guess you probably don't need it, just as long as you don't pull this handle out, because it is threaded here. So I don't think it'll be any issues if we can't get that retaining clip back through this little hole right here. Alright, so I'm looking at this, and it looks like to remove the base, all we gotta do is just unbolt this bolt right here, maybe this one as well, to get the base, and it should be similar on the other side. For this backrest right here, it looks like just these 2 bolts right here holding it on, and then we'll flip it over, see what's going on the other side. And on the other side, it looks like it's even easier. So one right here for the seating position, a Phillips head screw right here, and then the seat belt. I think we can leave the seat belt on, because we're not gonna be messing with that. We're just removing the cushion. And then this back piece right here, it should just come right off, because I think it just snaps right in. So we'll remove this one. Hopefully this will come right on out. So what I'm doing is just removing the Phillips head screw right here to remove this plastic trim piece. And let's see if this comes out now. So it should just come apart like that. All right, perfect. Perfect. All right, I'll set it to the side. And let me bring the camera over here. Now, with that side piece removed, I want to do the backrest first. So all I'm going to do is remove these 2 bolts right here, 1 and 2. These look like 2 10mm bolts. And looking down here, I don't see it attached to anything else, so it should be these 2 on this side, and then I'll do the other 2 on the other side, and then remove it from the frame right here. Alright guys, to remove these 2 bolts, I actually lied. It's actually a 12mm, it's not a 10mm, so you need a 12mm socket. Okay, that one's good. That one's good. And then I'm just gonna set the camera down flip it over and do the other side. And this seat should just lift right off now. All right, just like that. Perfect. So I think I'm gonna just do it right here so I can get more leverage kneeling like this. So let me pull this back around and show you guys what's going on. Now it kind of seems like the same thing on this seat. So down here, it does look like it's clipped on down here. And all I'm gonna do is just unclip it down here and then pull this old cover off again. All right, so we got it flipped upside down because the clips is on the bottom side of this seat cushion. So all I'm gonna do is just use this trim tool removal. And I guess it really doesn't matter. You can probably just cut this open and it'll make it so much easier when it comes to removing this old seat cover. But I don't want to use a knife and start going like this. It'll make it easier, but you run the risk of actually cutting the foam material that's in here that's providing that support. So I don't want to risk cutting into the foam. So that's why I'm gonna just kind of take it easy and unwrap the entire thing. And if it looks like I can use a knife to like cut it to make things easier, I'll do that as well too. This is why I was saying I want to do it on the ground, that way I could get more leverage. I'm also kind of having to straddle it, but with this position I can get more force down on here to compress this cushion to remove these clips back here. I could use my whole body weight just pushing down and make it a whole lot easier. All right, that was so much easier. So now we got the backside unclipped. I'm just gonna unwrap this from the front, and it is pretty darn tight. So I'm probably gonna have to take these gloves off once it comes to the installation, because it's pretty darn tight right now. So I'm gonna try to compress the foam in here and then just pull it down as I'm doing it. Since I'm not gonna be using this seat cover again, I'm gonna kind of speed things up and carefully cut this old seat cover off. It'll make things a whole lot easier. So what I'm doing is I'm just going right along the seam right here and just cutting the threading so I don't run the risk of cutting the foam. And I think this might be a whole lot easier just to slowly cut this apart. And then when it comes to the installation, yeah, it's gonna kind of suck having to compress everything and then slip it back on, but at least this will help speed up the process when you're removing and installing these seat covers. Alright, so we've got the seat cover partially removed, and if you look down here where my finger is at, there's this bungee cord that's attached to this cover right here, and that bungee cord is attached to the seat frame right here. So back beneath the foam material right here, there is this metal cable bar that is attached by this hog ring, and then this hog ring is keeping this elastic band which is connected to the seat cover intact. So what I'm gonna do off camera is basically just remove these hog rings right here, and you don't want to cut this elastic strip because you're gonna need to use it again. So I'm just gonna remove these hog rings And let me see if I can do it with one hand. Alright guys, so I think I'm gonna be able to do it with one hand, but I'm having to straddle this seat like this in order to keep it upright. And in my other hand, I've got my cable cutter right here, and I'm just gonna put it right on this hog ring and cut this hog ring. Make sure that I don't cut this elastic band. So try to get it on here. Alright, that should be good. Okay. Just need to free it. Alright, so, and I'm just gonna do that for the rest of these hog rings that's holding this elastic band off onto the seat. I'm just gonna remove all of them. And okay, remove all of them off camera, but that is basically what you're going to do. Remove this elastic band all around the seat right here by removing these hog rings right here. So let me set this camera down so I can use both hands again. Now once you got those hog rings removed up here, next thing you're going to do is just remove this elastic band. So this one up here, I've already done it. All I did was just slide it back through this sleeve right here, and then it'll come right out. So you just pull it through the sleeve right here, and it should come right on out, just like that. And that's gonna free this bottom portion of the seat. Let's see if it's connected anywhere else. So it does look like this elastic band gets held in by another hog ring right here. So we'll cut this one off, cut this other one off on this other side, and then it looks like it should be freed up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera as well, so I can use both hands. Alright, now with the seat here, we got this metal ring, but this metal ring is attached to the seat frame with this hog ring right here. So we need to go ahead and release it from this ring up here. And then once we release it from that ring, we should be able to free this off. And hold on, let me see. Maybe we don't have to. Let me check the other covering. If we don't need to cut this off and we could just feed this through the new seat cover, then we'll just leave it attached. But let me check the new seat cover over here and see how it looks like. Alright, so I was looking at the new seat cover, and what I realized is that even if I disconnected it from here, this ring is not gonna fit through this little sleeve right here. This sleeve is just wasn't made big enough to fit through the sleeve. So I think once I get to that point, I'll just figure something else out, because it doesn't look like you can take apart this ring. Or if you can take it apart, it's going to be too hard to take apart and then reinstall. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is for right now. And then once I feed this through here, I'll just figure something else out to make it simpler for the reinstall. Now let's take a look at this old back seat. So back here, if you notice, I said that there is something just poking you in the back right here. And these two little sharp points, once we flip it over, I'm going to show you what's going on, what's causing that. So it's actually plastic. So this hard plastic, I'm not sure what happens, but I guess over time, this hard plastic just kind of scrunches up like this. And these sharp edges right here is what's creating that hard spot on your spine. So once we get the new seat covers on, should have no issues. But let's take a closer look at this side bolstering. So this seat, the foam, yeah, it looks old, but at least it's still intact and it's not falling apart. Take a look up here as well. So up here looks just fine. Looks like a perfectly fine seat. We just need to get it reupholstered with the new leather. So now looking at this old seat cover again, I realized what these plastic strips were for. So if you're looking at the new one over here doesn't have them on here. So what I'm thinking is the reason why Toyota added these strips back here is to keep this seat tight up against the backrest right here, because there's nothing pulling this seat cover up against here for this middle section. For the sides right here, you have this little sleeve right here where this elastic band goes through, and it's gonna pull it down and keep this seat nice and tight. But on this new one, this new one doesn't have this middle section right here. So kind of curious on how the fitment's gonna be once I slip this new one onto this seat right here. But we'll go ahead and slip it on and see how it turns out. Now with the seat facing the camera like this, I'm probably not gonna show it on camera, but what I'm gonna do is just use this elastic band and slip it through the sleeve right here on this side, and do the same thing on this side as well. And then once I've got this elastic band through the sleeve right here, I'm just going to start unrolling it back over the seat cushion right here. Now for this part right here, I've got the elastic band through the sleeve right now on both sides, but this sleeve is not big enough for this metal hog ring to go through the sleeve. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut this in half right along this edge right here, and then once I get this pulled all the way through where I made a cut right here, I'm just gonna bring out a needle and some sewing thread and just sew it back up by hand. This little section where I'm gonna be making a cut in order to get this all the way through. So I think that's the plan, and that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully you guys can see this, but I'm just gonna slowly open up this sleeve ever so slightly. I'm not gonna open the whole thing. I just want enough to where this hog ring is gonna fit. So just kind of like this. And it looks like I might have to go just a little bit more. I think that's good right there. So what I'm gonna do is just do the same thing on the other side. Get it cut to about the same place, and then sew it up back here. Alright guys, so I went ahead and did it off camera, but all I did was just sew this piece up that I cut right down the middle right here. So I sewed it back up. Now this is one piece again, so did the same thing over here as well too. I just stitched it up where I made the cut right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and flip the seat cover back on over it. And this hog ring right here is gonna be attached to down here, and same thing with this one over here. You're just gonna attach it down to here as well. So once I get it flipped over, I'm gonna attach these hog rings, and then the rest of the seat cover should pull right on over. Alright guys, so we're gonna bring it in closer again. So this is what it looks like. So I've hog tied this elastic band back onto this metal bracket right here, this little metal bar, and then do the same thing here as well, and over here as well. So this elastic band is secured onto this metal bar right here. But if you notice, with the original seat covers, this little ball is supposed to stop where this hog tie is at, but I had to pull it tight because this seat cover, it's aftermarket, so it's not going to be as tight as the OEM fit, but that's how it looks like. And at least right here is not too bad, but overall it doesn't look too bad. And I did notice that for the headrest, there's no holes up here, so I think for the headrest I'm going to have to just puncture 2 holes right here for the headrest, and I'll probably just use I don't know if I'm going to use a drill bit or something else, but I might just make a hole big enough to stick the headrest back inside of here. But as far as securing the bottom side of this, I think once it's all secured, I think I'm just going to just use some safety pins, because it didn't come with a clip to clip this back on like the OEM seat has. But I guess you can probably cut this one off over here. You can probably cut this off and sew it onto the new seat cover, but I think that's a little too much work. It's going to be on the bottom side, so I'm not really too worried about it. That's it for the backrest. Let's go ahead and take the seating position off, and hopefully this one is a whole lot easier, but I have a feeling it'll probably take me about the same amount of time as the backrest. So we'll flip this over, and it looks like it might be a couple 12mm bolts holding this bottom seat cushion on, and we just need to remove it from the seat rail right here, and we'll be able to go ahead and take off this leather seat cover. Alright guys, so looking at this the bottom seat cushion, I'm gonna go ahead and remove these 2 hog ties on the bottom, and then I've already removed the 2 mounting screws on the left side, but over here it looks like all you have to do is remove this screw right here, and let's see, where's the other one? Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah, no, there should be another one. And there's one hiding right behind this seat belt buckle, so we might have to remove this bolt right here, well, this nut, to access the other bolt that's holding this seat cushion on, because it's hidden right behind here, and there looks like there's not a way to access it. So we'll get this one removed first. This looks like it's probably a 13 or 14. It's 14, so we'll put a 14 on here. Okay, it's on there pretty good. Bring out the impact wrench. All right, there you go. That's why you want to have an impact wrench. All right. Now, we should be able to access the other bolt that's in here. So we'll go ahead and get that other bolt off. All right. The seat should come right off, but all right. One more, huh? All right. All right, and off comes the seat cushion. So I'm going to just remove this clip down here. So there's a little clip down here. I'm just gonna pop off this clip right here to for the seatbelt sensor right here. Just gonna pop this off real quick. All right, that is off now. So we'll leave it here. And then next thing I'm gonna do is just go ahead and pop off all of these hog rings right here. Hopefully this bottom one goes on so much easier. So all these hog rings right here, I'm just going to cut them all off with my cable cutters right here. So it looks like one right here. And we'll see what we can do with one hand. All right, that's good. Alright guys, hopefully y'all can see this, but all I'm going to do is just unwrap it now. So it looks like it should be free to go ahead and get unwrapped. So we'll just do that. And that should be it. It should come right on out. I don't see anything else holding it. It looks like there is a elastic band on it as well too. So I gotta figure out where that elastic band is at. So look like it's down in here too, but let's just go ahead and unwrap it. And yeah, let me bring the camera in closer because this one's gonna suck. And I think I might just use zip ties instead of hog rings when I go back to do this, because these hog rings they're just a pain in the butt to try to get your pliers down in here. And I'm pretty sure zip ties are gonna do the same job as these hog rings. And come in here and get a closer look so I can show you guys. So down in here we've got these hog rings again holding this seat cover onto the frame. So we need to cut all of these hog rings off both sides, and then we'll be able to go ahead and pull this old seat cover off and reattach the new one. So the good thing about this old one is that it seems like this old one is going to be a whole lot easier than the backrest. Alright guys, probably ain't gonna be doing much talking because all I'm doing is just cutting these hog rings off. Alright guys, I'm gonna bring this camera around, but that's the frame of the seat right there. This is the cushion right here. Let's take a look at this cushion. So surprisingly, this cushion is still really nice. It's not worn, and the side bolstering is still really good. So I'm really happy that this cushion is still good for being a 30-year-old seat. And then as far as these metal brackets, I put them on purpose in order like this, so when I go back to reinstall the new seat covers, I'll know the proper orientation to replace these metal bars back inside the seat covers before I put it back onto this seat. And if you look down here, it's going to be really tricky to go ahead and use these, where'd they go? Use these hog ring pliers to get in here and kind of do like that. So what I think I'm gonna do is just use zip ties to tie these metal bars onto this metal bar on the cushion. So zip ties, I use zip ties a lot for a lot of things I do, and a zip tie it's definitely gonna be easier to get in here, and that's the route that I'm gonna go. All right guys, it's time to go ahead and put the new seat cover back onto here. So what I'm gonna do is just put these metal strips back into here, and it looks like there wasn't any holes cut in here, so I'm gonna have to cut some holes in here and stick this in here. So let's go ahead and cut some holes on the end. And then stick this little bar back through here. Alright, so just like that. And now what I'm gonna do is just bring this camera in closer, show you guys exactly what I'm doing before I start doing it. So I've got this bar reinserted through the sleeve right here, and what I'm gonna do is so on this sleeve it's gonna get one. Oh, well, it looks like they didn't include an extra sleeve on here. So I've only got one sleeve right here. But if you look at here, there should be two sleeves right here for the clips down here. And there's only one sleeve right here. So they might have forgotten to put the other sleeve on here. But we'll look at the other one, the old one, real quick. So this is the one we pulled off, and you can tell that there is two sleeves right here. Let me pull this one off. Totally forgot about this one. But I'll pull this one off too. So there are two sleeves right here, and that's to be attached to here and here, and that's what's gonna help pull these two parts down and flush. So I don't think we're gonna, well, we don't have that, so we're just gonna make do with what we got. Now what I'm doing is putting the sidebars on right now. They did include a sleeve for the sidebars, so I'm gonna slip this in just like that, and then slip the smaller one through the top up here. And we're gonna have to cut some holes in here, but it's gonna be really easy because I'm gonna use zip ties this time to secure these two metal bars back in here. So I'm gonna make this as easy as I can, because at the end of the day, we're not gonna be looking at this. This is gonna get hidden. All right. And I can't believe they forgot to give me the other sleeve right here, but we're just gonna have to use what we have right now. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do is just measure out where these holes are at. So I'm gonna just kind of pre-position this and make some incisions down in here so I could use the zip ties to zip tie these. And we don't have to be exact, we just need to be close enough, but let's try not to make the holes too big. probably good. Do the same thing here. And looks like right around here as well. Now for the sides, it looks like it's going to be alright. So here and here. Now with these zip ties, it's gonna make it so much easier because I have more space to work with. So I'm gonna start with the front right here. Alright guys, I had to bring the seat cover over to the bench because it was just easier to do it standing up, but here's what it looks like so far. So I just basically zip tied this metal bar that's inside the sleeve onto the metal bar that's inside this cushion right here. So I did that all the way around. I didn't tighten down everything yet because I still needed some slack in this new seat cover. So what I'm gonna do now is basically just tighten down all of these zip ties, and then I'm gonna flip this, the rest of the seat cover, I'm gonna stretch it over the back. Alright, so this is with all the zip ties tightened down. This was really easy. All I had to do was just pull these zip ties and everything became tight. So I did that all the way around here, and using these longer zip ties definitely makes it a whole lot easier because all you gotta do is just pull it tight and it's gonna lock in place. So I did that the whole way around, and then what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna cut all this excess off and then wrap it over. I brought it back over to the garage floor so it'll be a better camera angle for you, but all I'm gonna do is just stretch this over now, just like that. And then do the side bolstering as well. Come back over here. And let's see. Huh. Now, I don't know what is going on here. So this is kind of weird. Now, you see this thing right here? This just kind of looks weird, and I don't think it's supposed to be like this. Check that out. All right. So, Alright, so we might have to do something else with this seat cushion to get it to fit on properly. But I think what we're gonna do is just reattach it to here, use some zip ties, and probably have to cut this and maybe modify it to fit properly, but it seems like it's good so far. Just need to pull everything tight now, and we'll go ahead and put the seat cover back onto the frame right here. Alright guys, so we got the seat cover fitted back on, and what I'm gonna do is, since it's got this lip around here, I'm just gonna cut some holes in here and then just zip tie this lip onto this frame, and then just pull it tight like that. And I did have to cut this so I can get a little more flex in here, but it'll be alright because it's gonna be hidden underneath the seat. we're not gonna be able to see it. And then I'll do the same thing over here as well. Need to cut a couple of holes in here, pull it tight, and secure it onto these holes right here.
I've always dirtied everything that I found. This ain't no different, so look at you now. I'm baby cut.
Now what I had to do over here is use this grommet tool maker to create my own little grommets here. That way when I put these zip ties through here and zip tie it onto here right here and pull it tight, it's not going to be just pulling on a hole that's punched through the leather. It's going to be pulling on this grommet here. So this is going to give it some extra support. That's why I did this. And normally these tools right here, they come with like a little hole puncher. And all you do is just press it up against this leather and you just kind of apply a little pressure and you turn it around and then it creates you a hole. And then to install these on here, they usually come in 2 halves like this. We're just gonna stick the first half through the bottom right here. And then the other half, we're just gonna place it right on top here like this. And then we're gonna bring our pliers right here and just set it right on here and then sandwich it. And then once we sandwich it, we're gonna line it up and that looks good. And then you're just gonna press down on it. And that should do it. And that's gonna create this little grommet right here. So this one isn't the best, but we'll go ahead and just use it for now. But I'm not gonna be pulling on it too tight, so we'll pull tighter on this one. This one's just for extra support. So we'll go ahead and take care of these last couple of zip ties. And what I'm doing is just going from here to this spring, and I'm not gonna pull too tight on it because it's just the spring right here. I just wanna secure it enough so it's not flapping around. And that should probably be good enough. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. That's probably good enough. All right, so I think we're done with this seat, and I'm just gonna come back around and make sure all of these zip ties are nice and tight, and then we should be done with this seat. So come back over here. Okay, tight. Alright, so once all these are tight, I'm gonna flip it over and then see if I like it. Alright, so I think everything is tight enough now. It looks good. That's the best it's gonna get for being aftermarket. Go ahead and flip it over. Cut all the excess zip ties apart and then reinstall this back onto the seat frame. So let's go ahead and cut all these excess zip ties apart. And I'm just gonna leave just a little tag on here, so just in case it happens to back out for any reason, it'll have something to grab onto. And I'm not really too concerned about it being perfectly trimmed. And another good reason for leaving just a little extra is if you need to make it tighter, you'll have something to grab onto to make it tight again. So there you go. See, just like that. You can still readjust it. So I think this is pretty much done. We're going to go ahead and get this reinstalled back onto the seat. So This is gonna go back on here like this. And, oh, okay. All right, that wasn't good. That wasn't good at all. All right, so what I forgot was the seat needs to be bolted back on here. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to loosen up all these zip ties again, and then pop some holes through here, and then well, maybe not. Maybe I can get away with not reinstalling them. Let me see. Well, maybe not. I'm just gonna poke a little hole right here where the screw hole's at. And do the same thing for right here. Just poke a little hole to the screw hole. And what we're gonna do is just take the screw and just kind of create our own hole and fasten the screw through here, just like that. Do the same thing on this side as well. And then once we back off the screw, we have our holes created. So we'll do the same thing on the other side as well too. Okay, flip this around. Feel where the screw holes are at. Poke a little hole. Put the screw through here, and that should do the trick. So we don't have to take everything all apart again. Let's do this. Do it like this. Make it just a little easier since we forgot. Oh, I must have missed it. Oh yeah, I missed it. Missed it, but it's all right. It's right here. Right here. All right. Now we got our screw holes back. Now we can go ahead and place this back on here, and I'll bolt it back on. That's what we're gonna do. All right, so now what I'm doing is just lining up the mounting holes again, and I'm gonna slide this back in here and see where the holes are at, and then just stick the screw through the hole again, and should. Too far, or not far enough. Oh, it's right there. Right there. Get the screw fed in. Alright, and I'm gonna bring the drill and just slowly ease it in. Alright, so it's caught on there. Now what I want to do is the same thing for the one up front. So I'm gonna just slowly feed it in here Make sure it's not cross-threaded. Alright, so it's on there. Now we'll go over to the other side. Do the same thing on this side over here. And I'm just gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna line this up again. And then, oh, right there. So it's right there. Line it up. And then just kind of start it by hand a little. Use my drill to go ever so slightly. Alright, so it's in. Then we gotta do this one as well too, so let's see, oh, right there. Alright, it's right there, so we'll get it started by hand. And then use the drill to slowly feed it in again. Just slowly squeezing the trigger. Alright, so it's on there. So we got both the screws back on here. Now we can just go ahead and tighten it back down. And we'll do the same thing for all 4 screws. That's good enough. Alright, that's good enough. Come back over here. Knock out the other side. Alright. Now the seat is reinstalled, but we need to go ahead and put the seat belt buckle back on. So let me show you what's going on here. So with the seat belt buckle, we need to grab our washer right here and then put it back on here. And it's just gonna go like this. Back inside of this little 2 tabs right here. It's gonna go back inside of here. And then we'll take our nut right here, put it back on here. Start it off by hand, and then just tighten it down. So I'm not gonna use the giant torque monster impact wrench. I'm just gonna use this baby one, and then it should be nice and free like that. Okay, so it's tight, and that way you know it's installed properly. So let's go ahead and flip this over. We need to reattach this electrical connector back onto down here. So we're gonna flip it over like this and just reattach it to this hole right here. It can go in any one of these holes right here. So I'm gonna just put it back inside of this one right here. Just push it in and it's clipped on. So that's good enough for now. That's good enough. And then we'll flip it back over. All right. Reinstall the side covering pieces right here. And to reinstall the side covers, it should be pretty easy to reinstall these. They just pop right in. So we'll go ahead and pop them right back in. And let me move this camera over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, so once again, these have a small Phillips head screw right here. Come back over here. Just line this back up just like this. I'll line it back up. And then it should just snap right back into place. But before we do that, let's go ahead and reattach the backrest. So let me grab the backrest and we can reattach the backrest first. So we're just gonna do the same thing, line up the holes and then just slowly feed it in here. Alright, this side's good. And I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. Basically lining it up again. So I'm gonna line it up on this side. And then just kind of screw it in. So don't worry guys, I'm not hiding anything. I'm just doing the exact same thing, but just on the opposite side. Alright, so once you set that in there, you can go ahead and just ever so slightly tighten it down, but I'm gonna go slow on all of them first, because right now you just want to make sure that nothing's cross-threaded. Once you get them halfway tight, you can tighten them down some more. So I'm just going really slow because I don't want to cross-thread anything. Alright, so this side is good. I'm going to just come back around and tighten it down. That's probably good. That's good enough as well. Do the same thing on the other side. Alright, that is it. Now let's go ahead and reinstall the side cover pieces. So these side covers, they're just gonna go on like this, and they should just snap right back in place. So you don't have to do anything special. You're just gonna snap back in place like this once you got it lined up properly. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side too. Alright, so that looks good. We're gonna go ahead and stretch the rest of the seat down, and then finish up our last little, I guess you can say checks, but we're gonna tighten everything down again and just finish it up and then call it good. This needs to go back down inside of here. Alright, just like that. And so what I'm doing is all this excess stuff, I'm just gonna push it through the seat right here, pull it through the back, and then just kind of tighten it up or secure it. Just gonna kind of secure it somehow. Go like that. And that should be good enough. That is good enough, guys. That's perfect. Perfect, just like that. No big deal. Good enough. Let's go ahead and flip it back around. Now, next thing we need to do is put the handle back in here. So I'm gonna flip the seat over to the side and then try my best to put this handle back on here. So let me show you what's going on. So this handle, like I was saying earlier, has this little snap ring on here. But the good thing is that if I can't get this snap ring on here, this part right here of the shaft is threaded, so I don't really have to worry about really getting this snap ring back on. If I can't, that's all the space that I have to get this snap ring on. So I want to try my best to put it back on here, but yeah, it just goes on like this, and then you're going to have to somehow figure out how to get this snap ring back on through that little space. Alright guys, I'm going to try something else. So I'm going to just put it on like that, and then put it on here, and hopefully it'll stay on long enough to where I can stick my fingers through this hole right here and push it on. Alright, perfect. Perfect. Let me show you what's going on here. So, how you get it back on is... Alright. So how you get it back on is you just put it on barely on there, and then once you stick it back onto the shaft, you just use your thumb and then you press it to snap back in place. So I think the seat's almost done. We just need to screw the screw back on, set it up right, poke some holes up here for the headrest. Alright, now for the holes up here for the headrest, I think I'm just going to use this little tool to create a hole. And if I need the hole to be bigger, I'll make it bigger, but that looks like that should do it. I'm gonna go like this in a circular motion. Okay. Alright, so there it is. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Just set my camera down so I can use two hands while I'm doing this. It'll make it so much faster, and it'll turn out a much more better product. Alright, in comes the headrest. Alright, just like that. And let's go ahead and see if we can adjust it somewhere. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Let me clean up this chair. Clean up this chair, then I'll bring out the driver's seat as well too, so we can do a compare of the old and new. Alright guys, I got the driver's side seat out as well. This is what the original OEM looks like. Now keep in mind this car is 31 years old, so the condition of the original seats really not too bad. But let's take a look at the newly installed seat cover. This is the LSeat seat cover, and you can kind of tell that it the fitment isn't as good as the original OEM, because you look over here, everything's nice and tight over here. It fits just perfect. But when you look at this one right here, see all these wrinkles right here? Look at how much slack is up here. And yeah, I tried to pull it as tight as I can, but this is the tightest that it's gonna get. So you're gonna have all this extra. And I've looked at other people's review on these seat covers too, and they all look like they fit really loosely like this. So it's not a nice tight fit, but it does get the job done, and you're not gonna have any more cut or open seats anymore. The headrest seemed like it turned out just fine. There's no issues at all. It looks like it's the perfect fitment. It does retain the mat pockets back here as well, and then down under here, it's not too bad. So take a look at this one. This one's, the fitment is just way better. And even though I thought the red stitching was gonna look good, I don't think the red looks that good on this seat, because the black just doesn't seem like it's black enough. It seems like it's almost like a charcoal black, but it is black with the red stitching. It might look better. And this one's the original seat again. It has a kind of like a grayish green stitching, and it actually works for this seat. And again, the middle is perforated, so that's gonna definitely help make it look a little more luxurious compared to this one. Now overall, I paid about $360 for the front seats, And I guess for 360 bucks, I really can't complain too much because let me go sit in here and I'll tell you what I think about how it feels when I'm sitting in here. Alright, now I can tell you that it does feel a whole lot more comfortable because the leather down here, it's new leather and it's not hard. It's not hard as this. Listen to this. Hear that? That's how hard this leather is. But this seat is definitely more comfortable, and with this new seat cover, I don't have this issue going on anymore with the old seats. This old seat, these I guess like back behind here is plastic. It's like a plastic reinforcement back here to kind of help keep everything nice and tight and fitted. But over time, I guess that plastic just starts to shrivel up and it creates these jagged edges right here that just want to poke right directly in your spine, so it's not as comfortable. And down here, the bottom cushion right here, it's really comfortable. The foam that's in this seat right here is still good. It wasn't rotted or falling apart or anything. And the side bolstering right here, perfect fitment, and fits me perfectly. Same thing right here, the side bolstering right here, perfect fitment as well. And when you're doing those curves around those backcountry roads, like, it's gonna hold you in place. It doesn't look like it's gonna hold you in place, but this new leather kind of almost sticks to your clothes. Now this seat over here, since all this leather is all dried out and hard and stuff, it's not gonna have that nice friction that's gonna keep you locked in place. It's hard leather now, so it kind of, you're just kind of sliding all over the place in this seat. Oh, when you look at here, got the driver's seat redone as well too. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the driver's seat as well. All right, so the driver's seat is a little worse than the passenger seat. So I tried to get this as tight as I could, but it just ended up looking all wrinkled like this. And I don't know, I don't think I like it at all. It's got all this play in here, and I tried to make it tight, but it wouldn't get any tighter than this. And but the rest of it seems to be okay down here. It looks not bad from a distance if it's stretched and fitted perfectly, but where there's all these wrinkles on here, it just kind of looked like it's not really I guess real. But back here, the headrest look all right. It looked fine. And then back here, you do have your map pocket still, and the back doesn't look fine. The side looks all right as well too. But like I was saying, all the wrinkles in here, it just makes the seat look not original or not well made. And I'm gonna be the first to say that I don't think it was my work. I think it was the craftsmanship of these seat covers that were made. They were missing a lot of those sleeves that would have helped make most of these wrinkles go away, but they didn't come with it. But this is still going to be better than what I had before. Now we gotta sit in the driver's seat and see how it feels, because you know, this is where all the action comes, you know. Shifting my left hand clutch, driving on the right hand side, and yeah, so everything works. Yeah, it's oh yeah, so I can already tell that this seat does feel much more comfortable than the original seats, because this leather is new, and I didn't have no issues with the bolsterings as well. The foam material that was inside these seats, both of these seats were actually still in good condition, and I was surprised that that foam wasn't falling apart. But that's enough talk for these seats right here. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna install them back in the car real quick and then show you guys what these seats look like inside of this Celica GT4. Alright guys, we got the car seats installed. How does it look from afar? Does it look any better? Notice any difference? Does the red stitching pop out? Was it worth it? What do you guys think? So, I don't know if I really like it. I thought it was gonna go good, but it just seems like it's cheap because it's not fitted properly. But I guess it's better than having ripped seats. And I can say that even though it looks cheap, at least it's comfortable when I sit in here now. So much more comfortable. Let me go around to the other side. Come around to this other side here. So this other seat, the driver's seat, it's really fitted really loosely, so it doesn't look that good, huh? Let me do this and go stand over here. Yeah, I don't know, folks. I just don't know. I think I'm gonna save up for some better seats or seat covers and then swap it out. But I'm not saying I'm not satisfied. I am satisfied. I just wish that it was fitted more properly and tighter. And it does kind of pop out a little, but I just feel like it just doesn't go with this car anymore. Maybe I'm just really used to the old seats, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna redo these seats in the future. Now I know this video was extremely long, but I wanted to show you guys how to reupholster your seats and save some money. And not only that, I did give you my honest review and my honest opinion about what I thought about these seat covers. And you guys can be the judge for yourself whether these seat covers are gonna be good enough for your car or not. But I showed you guys these seats installed in my vehicle and how it looks like and what I thought about it. That's gonna do it this time for Garage Matters. Make sure you join us next time on Garage Matters and hit that like and subscribe button.